Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this episode, I'd like to talk about the issue of questions and how they're viewed now. Now, I don't know if this is a thing. I've come across this quite a few times, so maybe it's just me, maybe I'm missing something, maybe there's a subtle shift in how people, the interaction, how people conduct themselves that I've missed somehow. But I just wanted to talk about this because I think it is a thing, and I'd be interested to see your comments below. And I'll illustrate what I mean by this. So I've got an appointment with the vice president of engineering at this particular company, and so I appear and. So I go to reception, and simple enough, hello, my name's Billy Bob Smith, and I'm here to see Jimmy Jack Jones. I have an appointment. Oh, what was your name again? Could you repeat that? So I repeat the whole thing. Okay, it's Billy Bob Smith to see Jimmy Jack Jones, and I have an appointment. So who is that again you come to see? And there's this confusion. There's almost close to panic. If they answer the question or accept the responsibility for dealing with the question, then somehow they've been diminished. It's a dangerous trap. So they somersault, they duck, they bob, they weave, they climb under the desk. Now, nothing could be simpler. The VP of engineering, they pretend not to know who it is. Did you say Jimmy Jack Jones? Do we know Jimmy? Is there a Jimmy? He's the VP of engineering. Sorry. What did you say? What was it? He's the vice president of engineering at this company. Here at this company. And what was his name again? Jimmy. Oh, okay. Do you know that? And no one knows who he is, so they have to look him up. And then there's frantic, typing on a keyboard to look up who Jimmy Jack Jones is. Oh, you mean Jimmy Jack Jones? Yes. Okay. Now, I've already said Jimmy Jack Jones 3 times, but they pretend not to know. Suddenly they know who he is. And what was your name again? So he goes through. Do you have an appointment? I've said that 3 times. And so on it goes. Now, how it can be so confusing, because I remember the days not long ago when you could turn up and just say who you were and who you were there to see. It would be processed. Yes, please sit over there. Can we get you a coffee or something? That would be done. But it seems to be quite different now. It seems to throw them into almost hysterical confusion, and it's hard to work out why. So you're sitting down for what seems like quite a while. I mean, have they got a problem finding the guy or something? I don't know. Again, there's an appointment and we've met before, so all that sort of thing. So, and then they send someone young to do this, sort of the 16-year-old intern then comes over and, are you Mr. Billy Bob Smith? And you go, yes. Yeah. And you're here to see Jimmy Jack Jones? Yes. And you have an appointment? Yes. Right. I'll be with you in a moment. Then she disappears. There's frantic conferring. Then she comes back and says, would you follow me, please? And so the whole exercise is dramatic in the extreme. And I sort of struggle to understand how you could infuse something that simple with so much uncertainty and doubt and drama and just overall confusion. But there you go. Now I've come across this again. I've got sort of 3 instances just recently, and there's another one where I was going to visit someone in hospital. Now they're receiving sort of intensive care, and they've got like a case sort of person assigned. It's quite an expensive clinic, and they've got a case person assigned and each case person or each case manager, whatever they call it, only has 10 people, and they're long-term stuff. They're like 6-month programs. So. And I was told, well, this is the person. I actually came in earlier and had a quick word with the case manager about this particular patient. We'll call him Billy Bob, whatever. But so I came back in like, a couple of days later or something like that, and to deliver some bits and pieces at the behest of sort of a relative to this patient. And so that caseworker was actually in the office as I came by, and you got to go through a security screen and so on. And so I'd already introduced myself. So, hi, I'm Billy Bob, to see Jimmy Jack. And who? Jimmy Jack. Who's that? Jimmy Jack in room 99. And then again, the confusion. I don't know who Jimmy Jack is. I mean, no, it's one of your patients. You're the case manager, and you've only got 10. We spoke about this a couple of days ago. Now you're pretending you don't even know who your own patient is, but not only that, you're confused. You just don't say, oh no, who is that? Who could that possibly be? And so I just quietly stand there and wait. And do you remember me? I came in a couple of days ago and we spoke. Oh yes, yeah. Oh, you mean Jimmy Jack? Oh yes, Jimmy Jack. That's right, Jimmy Jack. And suddenly it's like she remembers who it is, and I'm thinking, this can't be right. You can't be that stupid. No one can be this stupid. There's a feeling that if I admit that I know Jimmy Jack, somehow I'm going to be held responsible for something. So I have to pretend that I just don't know, and I just can't. I have no idea who Jimmy Jack is, even though it's a patient of mine. I have no idea who it is, and that seems to be the safest position to take till I'm sure I'm not going to be held responsible for something. So I'm assuming there's an issue like that, but it goes further even outside of I went into to pick up some pharmaceuticals and I've got an attorney to do this, some pharmaceuticals for a relative who's too elderly to make the journeys on her own. And I was going past the pharmacy, so it's no real skin off my nose to do this. But so I go in to get it. Now, there's a couple of different brands here, so I asked a very simple question, I thought. What's the difference in price between brand A and brand B? And the elderly relative is on like some sort of a pensioner type, retiree type scheme where the government pays for a proportion at least of the drugs. But if you go over a certain threshold, then it's not covered. Or, that's so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't stuffing up here. And so I asked the question, what's the difference in price? I don't know. And then panic ensued. Blind panic. And I've got to go. And then the assistant pharmacist came over, and I was quite clear. What's the difference in price between A and B? It was asked politely and calmly. I'm not in any hurry or anything. And so, but somehow it's thrown the mere question threw them into confusion. But instead of addressing the question, then the young woman goes off and then comes back with the like the assistant manager of the pharmacy. Yes, can I help you? Well, as I just asked, have you mentioned to why don't you tell me? Well, I'm trying to find out the difference between price A and B. Then there's a screwing up of the fact. Why do you want to know that? Well, they're products for sale on the shelf. I'm just asking what the price is. Well, they're actually not on the shelf. They come out of the pharmacy back room something. But I'm just asking the difference in price. I mean, is that all right? Am I allowed to do that? Is there like a law against it or something? So let me just reiterate. A and B, and I'd like the difference between them. And it looked at very suspiciously, even a quick look over the shoulder to go, what are you up to? Where are you from? And then looking at the script from the doctor and do you have attorney for this? And they're getting all official now. And so it goes off. Then the head pharmacist comes back and why do you want to know this? So again, this is a drama. I can't imagine where but the mere asking of the question again seemed to have this thing of, if you have the power to ask the question, we lose power. And so if we refuse to answer the question, then we have power. So it seemed to be some sort of social transaction of power, as they say. I don't see it that way. I see it as a simple question. But I've noticed this in various contexts, that asking a question seems to terrify the person. If I answer the question, I'm locked in place. All my power has gone. So if I refuse to answer it, then I have my power maintained. Now, I don't know what you think, but or whether you've come across this, or whether I've come across it unusually. But clearly the people who are asked the question, they know the answer or can very easily find out. But they pretend to be absolutely struck with confusion and uncertainty when a simple question, it's not a complicated question. It's not like, where were you on the night of the 15th? And did you have the gun in your hands? It's not a question like that where you would understand. People may sort of have a shock, being asked that, or a policeman appears, or a SWAT team guy toting a gun, that you understand. But when a simple question, I'm here to see Jimmy Jack, you wouldn't think that it would be impossible to have a dramatic sort of episode of confusion over that, but it is. And again, I'll be interested to see your comments. You've been fantastic today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.